All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. All right, we got a good topic here today, and it's coming from Ezekiel chapter 34. And it's a letter to the shepherds. And I just want to, the shepherds in Israel. I want to kind of just cover that whole chapter because I want you to look at something and know that it speaketh it then, but it's speaking also of now. And I really like it. I really like it because I've spoken to you several times regarding me being able to hear behind hearing. And that's when you have the natural ear to hear and you have the spiritual ear to hear. That's what I call hearing behind hearing. 99.9 don't have that gift. So I will say it's a blessing to have it because it gives you a better understanding in when you're being taught by the Ruach or when you're being taught by someone else or you're learning something that someone is teaching or someone else is ministering or preaching. You can hear behind what they're saying. Okay. So that's how I am. And I've been like that for quite some time. And that also lead me to understand that I am a good teacher, not a good teacher, a good hearer. Because whenever you're able to hear behind hearing, that means you hear well. Okay. And according to hear well, you have to be slow to speak and quick to listen. Okay. Even in when the Ruach is teaching you, you have to be slow to speak, quick to listen. Okay. So I say unto you, we're going to cover Ezekiel, and I'm going to show you the things that I see behind Ezekiel 34. I learned some things today. I learned that uh, people are trying to live out this book, and they taking this book and making it the word of Yah in a form of everything in it is righteous. This book cannot be righteous, you guys. The book is a paperback book, and it has been smeared by the Catholics. What makes it righteous is when the Holy Spirit steps in you and begin to teach you what I said, the Most High Yah. What is written in here with his finger, you see, and it began to teach you what he said and what got in here that he has spoken and what is a lie. That's what the Ruach come to do, to teach you all things so you can understand that you can't just take this book from the beginning to the end and just assume this is what you live on. This is not the bread that you live on. This is just a book that you study to show yourself approved. Okay? Waiting for the Ruach, which is the true teacher, to abide in you, to come and rest himself in you and teach you all things and teach you the word that is written in this book. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go over Ezekiel chapter 34. And what this is going to do, it's going to show you what Sister Deborah have said time after time after time. The majority, I say 99.9 of individuals on this platform is not representing the Father in the heavens, the true creator. They're not representing him because they're not speaking anything that has to deal with spirit and truth. They're not showing you the way to the narrow gate, nor are they showing you any type of light, nor a pin needle of light. So I want you all to understand that you're going to see this in Ezekiel 34. I'm way over in what was that? Ezekiel, I think it was 31. Ezekiel chapter 10, Ezekiel chapter 1, and I was trying to really grip this wheel in the middle of a wheel. But when I got into the wheel in the middle of a wheel, I began to see these different creatures. You see, a lot of you all thinking these creatures are aliens in a way of saying these are aliens from space. These are you might have to really rethink yourself, because your thoughts are not Yah's thoughts and your ways are not Yah's ways. And if you don't allow the Ruach to come in you and tell you what's what, then you're just going to be out there assuming that this can't be. But as I was listening, let me see. You all, I end up with so many scriptures. I was in it deep. Ezekiel chapter 1. I went to Ezekiel chapter 2, Ezekiel chapter 3, Ezekiel chapter 10, Ezekiel chapter 11. Because what didn't make sense is these four beasts, okay, that came up and down in this wheel. It's a wheel, and in the center of the wheel is a wheel. So only thing I can think of is something look like unto a source, a spaceship, because it does. A spaceship is like a wheel, and in the center of it is a wheel that also moves with lights. And as you read these, you see that this is kind of, and then when it got to tell you about these different beasts, these different, in a sense, creatures or beasts that's come down and go up, and they spread and I like the idea of it because it tells you about the four. The way that they move is in fours, and it's like I think of that as four corners. And then everything they did, they came up as if they came to get something and bring it back. It's just awesome. I got so deep in it. To the next thing I know, the Father had me in Ezekiel, all up in Ezekiel 34. It was like skipping way back in the beginning of Ezekiel chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3, jump me in 10, and then it jumped me in 11, then I end up in 34. That's how the Father works. He gives me what he knows that you need in this day and time. And what he wants me to give you today is coming out of Ezekiel chapter 34, and it surrounds a letter to the shepherds. And this is sad, y'all. This is a sad chapter, and you would never have known it was this sad until Sister Deborah go into it and break it down. I have an issue. I really do. I'm the type of person, when I get into something, say if I see Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 1, I don't know how to go in and pull out, because I see so much in that one verse. You see, I see behind seeing. So it keeps me on that verse alone when I can see it, and I can't force you to see it. So I'm going to try not to stay on each verse, trying to get you to see what the Father has not allowed or suffer you to. But I'm going to try to cover it the best way I can. But just kind of have a little mercy on Sister Deborah if she kind of leaned a little hard to a verse, because I really be doing that to try to see if you all going to graft what is actually being said. Okay, we have Yah's child in the chat. I need to know your first name. Is it any way that I can have your first name? I left you in the comment. When you left a comment, I left on the comment, I would like. Okay, I didn't even know that. Did you know? I had no idea. Okay, but thank you so much. Now I know. Okay, so what I want to say is this is going to be a good topic, and this is going to cause you to also kind of interact, because I'm going to ask you some questions, and the questions are not trap. Okay, they are not questions to try to make you see what you know. It's pretty much what Yah showed me. So if he said, show me this, I just want to share it with you and see if you can see it. And if you can't, it's no big thing. I just want to just share with you how he showed me things. And I'm going to tell y'all see, if y'all see the study and how, look at, I don't know if y'all can see this. This, you see all these verses? That's where I was really at. I got 2 pages of this. This is, let me see where my other one. No, that's not it. I got to find the other one. I got 2 pages because I was doing. Oh, let me not get into that. Oh, here it is. Here's another one. And what I was doing here, the verses and chapters, I was trying to grip this here, this chair, the wheel in the a wheel in the, no, it wasn't a wheel. It was a wheel in the midst of a wheel. I was trying to trap the whirlwind when I found out it was the spirit of Yah, the charity of what is it, chariot wheel. And it was just so many things I was trying to get some understanding, because to me, that sounds like aliens coming up out of that, and how they was connecting, and it had all eyes, they had 4 faces represent the 4 corners. That's how I was looking at it as I was reading. I got so really carried beyond till the Father pulled me out, and he said, I want you to pull up Ezekiel 34 and read it. And I was like, Father, this is a good topic to talk about. And so this is why we're here tonight. We're going to cover Ezekiel 34. We're going to start with verse 1. And in it, I'm going to reveal some things to you, and you're going to see what I'm saying when I say I can see behind seeing. You might can see behind seeing too. Okay. I would, who's that? Oh, praise to the Most High, Yah. All right. And here we go, Yah. Here, chapter 34, it reads, verse 1. The word of Yah came unto me, saying. Now, right then, Ezekiel is saying something very powerful. He's not saying the Bible came to him. He's not saying prophet or a teacher or a minister or a pastor. What is he saying? The word of Yah came unto him. You all have to understand, Yah knows what you need. He knows what you have. Learn to let him come unto you from the inside, to reason with you, to deal with you, whether it's sickness, stress, troubled, happy, unhappy. Learn to accept him that's in you, to work that out in you so it can overpower that which is on the outside of you. Ezekiel is sitting here saying the word. He ain't talking about this book. See, that's why I tell y'all this book is not the word. He said the word of Yah came unto me, saying. He ain't talking about no book. He ain't talking about Moses. He ain't talking about Abraham. He ain't talking about Solomon. He's talking about the word. You must learn what the word is. When you know that the word is, was, and was with Yah, then that's who the word is. And the word, it tends to teach you from the inside, not from the outside. And what do you mean, Deborah? When the word come to you, he don't want the flesh of a man. He don't want the flesh of a woman. He don't want your husband. He don't want your wife. He don't want your pastor, your bishop, your apostle, your prophet, your prophetess. He wants a relationship with you where you can trust him communicating with you. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what's going on in the end days. When you think it's connected to everybody else connecting you to the Father. No. Ezekiel comes straight out. And what does he say? And the word of Yah came unto me, saying. And that's where we have to be today, because Ezekiel didn't have him in him. You do. See, the Most High, when he brought the Ruach, that was the only time where he bring his spirit in you. And it lives in you. It teaches you from the inside out. So that's why the outside can't tell you nothing when the inside is teaching you. That's why you can't weaken yourself to messages, not even to Sister Deborah. More so have a relationship with him in the inside. It'll make you feel so much better. Oh, it'll make you feel so much better that you got somebody that you can trust from the inside, that knows your hurt, your pain, your heartache, your sickness, your stress, and anything in your life. Just imagine having him in there, and he knows all about you. The day you come in, and he'll tell you, I know the day you go out. Wouldn't you want that type of power? Wouldn't you want to trust in that which is greater in you than Sister Deborah and all these people on the outside? Try that. How about that? How about that? See if you can trust that for a moment, and see, won't it be what you will live from the rest of your life? So in verse 1 of Ezekiel 34, I like Ezekiel saying that, because that's what he was trying to get y'all to see in John. He said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word was Yah, and it was with him in the beginning. We out of bounds because we never accepted him to be all that like that. In a sense, because my main thing when I first heard that, I said, you sound mad. You sound fierce in allowing this to be said. He said, I am. Because they don't get it. I am the Word. See, when you really get to know him like that, then he'll move you in many places in life. Okay, now let's go to verse 2. We're in Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 2. And then he began to say to Ezekiel, Son of man, prophesies against the shepherds. You notice the shepherds has an S, right? The shepherds has an S. So he's not just talking about one. He's talking about many. Now, what is the shepherds? Well, the shepherds can be, let's start at the bottom of the pole, which is a prophet. Not a prophet, a pastor. Did you all know the administrative position caused a pastor to be into the bottom pole? How they got up to the head of the pole, I know wicked and evil. It wasn't their position. That's why they called themselves to these positions. Y'all did not call them to this position, because the Father say, if I build a temple, and if I am over that temple, I'm going to have the positions, the administrative positions in there, to the point where people who are the prayer warriors, people who are interpreted of tongues, people who sing, people who do every part that works in that temple will be in order, because don't forget, Christ is the head. You see, we run around here trying to get a head and don't even know we got a head. Christ is the head over the church. See, that you'll never hear them preach and teach that to you all, because they want you stuck on stupid. Just as the Gentiles and heathens didn't want us to know history. What I found out, it was nothing they did to keep us from history. History didn't want us to know history. Our own history was hiding from us, so we would stay in darkness. Our own history was hiding from us. Don't forget, who can take from you if you came over here with your history? You came over on them ships. What happened to your history? You see? So it leads me to understand those who had the history that came over here on the ships, they never did continue their history, because you didn't need a book to know your history. You lived a life. But what happened that we never knew? We didn't have to tell our slave owners. We didn't have to go by what they said. When we got together, the time that we were together until they split us up, we still should have had some history. But we didn't have that, because we were stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient to who? To the heathens, to the Gentiles, to Israel, to Judah? No, to the Most High Yah. Are we that? So that lead me to understand what I used to ask the Father. Why is it that our forefathers didn't share with us our history? When they was on them ships, why didn't they keep talking and singing hymns and calling on you? Why didn't they do all of this? They didn't, y'all. This is showing you the level of how stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient your people are yesterday coming over here and today. Well, why would you say that? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 36. Let's go there so I can give you a little taste, just a little bit, because I want to stay where I'm at in Ezekiel 34. When you get to Ezekiel 36, somewhere, I don't know what was going on with Ezekiel, but the Father had to step into him. Listen to what the Father said. Ezekiel chapter 36. He said to Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 17, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelled in their own land, they defiled it by their own ways. Where was the heathens and Gentiles? Where was the heathens and Gentiles? Well, nobody bothered them. They was on the land flowing with milk and honey. Did y'all know that? Your people was on the best land, the richest land on the face of the earth. Did y'all know that? I'm talking about your people, the stiff-necked and rebellion ones, the disobedient to the Creator. They're not stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient to us or the heathens and the Gentiles. They were that way to the Father, the Creator of all things, was a people. That's how the people conduct themselves toward him. Okay, now he was talking to Ezekiel. He said, son of, in Ezekiel chapter 36, he said, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelled in their own land, they defiled it by their own ways. How can somebody defile a land flowing with milk and honey? The richest land on the face of the earth. And by their doings, it's not what they did their own way and their doings. Okay, their ways was before me as a uncleanness of a removed woman. Listen to this, verse 18. Wherefore I poured out my fierce upon them for the blood they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. See, they were idling other gods on the promised land, and they were killing each other on the promised land. And we get over here and we justify, clarify, and identify everybody is bothering us and doing things to us. But the Father brought us to a place that's likened to the way we were conducting ourselves on the promised land. Now listen to what the Father said. And I thought this was really, really sad. Listen to what he said. Verse 20. I want every last one of you all to go there. Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 20. This is what he said to Ezekiel. And when they enter into the heathens, that's us. Remember, I was questioning the Father. Why didn't they act like they had some sense on the ships? They was tied down, but they had a mouth. They could praise you. They could honor you. They could say something. They could bring hymns or something together into unity. But this is what he said. Deborah, he said, verse 20. And when they enter into the heathens, whether they went, they profane my holy. See, y'all messed up from the floor up. I'm going to tell y'all Negroes. Y'all messed up totally from the floor up. Now, you got to understand what he said. They profane, not just his name, but the holy name. When they said to them, here go the heathen, these are the people of Yah, and they have gone forth out of his land. They profane the holy name of the Most High Yah in the face of the heathen. Meaning they disrespect Yah in the face of the heathen. It shows you here the heathen always know who you are. They didn't lose your history. They didn't hide your history. That was you. Your history was hiding from your ugly tails. That's what was going on. Your own history didn't want a part of you because you're just that ugly, house of Israel and tribe of Judah. Now, this is what made me sad. This made me very sad. It says, this is what Yah is saying. But I had pity on my holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathens, wherever they went, even to today. Even to today. That's why they take their sides. On the same side of one side of their mouth, they take the heathen side. On the other side of their mouth, they're saying, oh, they bothering us. They doing this. They did this. They did this. See, they can't even make up their mind. Why? Because they stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient to the Creator. because the heathen called them out, told them, you are the children of the Most High God. They began to tell the heathen, they began to profane Yah's name in the face of the heathens. So you wonder why the heathens think you a clown. You wonder why the heathen think you a monkey. You wonder why the heathen think you half human. They knew you was the children, but the way you act cannot represent the Father of the Most High God. No way he is going to get that. He's not going to bring your tail anywhere outside of where you at. So come go with me in Ezekiel 34. You about to find something you never knew. In Ezekiel 34 in verse 2, it says, Ezekiel chapter 34, we back in Ezekiel 34, verse 2. Son of man, prophesied against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, thus said Ahiah, until the shepherds. Who is the shepherds? Those that are leading the flock. You see? Those that are leading the flock. And he calling them all out. He got an S behind shepherd. Now watch this. Whoa! Oh, you better watch yourself. Because when he say whoa, that means you are in a heap of some trouble. When y'all have to say whoa. Now watch this here. Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. How many times in 2 years, probably longer, that Sister Deborah been telling you all they are not feeding you? How many times in the last week I keep telling you they giving you food for the flesh? Why? Because they feeding themselves and not giving you that which is for the spirit. Here in Ezekiel 34 shocked me because there it is right there. Listen to what he says. Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. So why I told y'all, I gave that example all this week of those that's on the devil's platform. I told y'all they are feeding a household and one another. They're feeding themselves. I said to y'all, they are not giving y'all spirit and truth. They are not giving y'all the light because that's the true spirit you need to be fed. That gives you strength and endurance, faith, fear, righteous, and belief will rise in you. But they give you that does not feed you, but feeds them. How does it feed the flock? Now listen to what he said. Listen to how Ahiah is addressing Ezekiel. He said, son of man, prophesies against. And why is he telling Ezekiel? Because the moment you don't, blood is going to be on your hand. Because I'm going to beat your tail down. Prophesy to the shepherds. That's what he's telling them. Now watch this here. Which 99.9 of the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah refused to do, the men. So when Sister Deborah telling you that they need to grip their balls and stop hanging on another man's balls, there it is. There it is. It's telling you the same thing. He sent Ezekiel to prophesy against them, not to them, but against them. And then he says in verse 2, woe be the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. How many times in 2 years I told y'all that? They're not giving you what? Food for your spirit. They're not showing you the way to the narrow gate. They're not giving you or telling you here's a pen, needle, or light. Eating themselves fleshly food. They're not giving you anything. And you thinking you getting a full meal deal. And you ain't getting up but trash to take with you to the lake of fire. Okay, now listen to what he says. And he says, Israel that do feed themselves, should not the shepherd feed the flocks? See, y'all telling Ezekiel, you can't see that, Ezekiel? You can't see that the shepherd is not feeding the flocks? Wait a minute, Father Yah, what do you want him to feed them? What do you want your shepherd? What do you want the shepherds? Let me not say his shepherd. What do you want the shepherds of Israel to feed the flock with? See, this shows y'all lost. Y'all lost without a cause. Because what this is saying is they're not giving them, the people, the flock, spirit and truth, which is him. That's what he's saying. That's the food he's talking about. That's what Yeshua was saying on the mountain. It is written that man don't live on bread alone, but every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. The shepherds are not giving you the word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. And y'all content. Y'all think it's okay. Y'all made it okay. Just as you sat in the land of floating with milk and honey, the promised land, and made everything they did. The house of Israel and the tribe of Judah did. You all gave them applause. You all made it right. You uplift them. You praised them. You honored them in the land flowing with milk and honey, the promised land. And that's why I got you where you at now. You see? The same situation. They did exactly what they did over here, faking it until they think they can make it. Now watch this here. So he tell him, should not the shepherd feed the flocks? That's the question he asked in Ezekiel. Why is he asking Ezekiel that? Because he's trying to slow down on Ezekiel. Let me tell you one thing. You're going to go say this to them. You're going to speak this bold. You're not going to be afraid of their face. You're going to say it. And if you don't, the blood going to be on you. Now listen to this. Now we in verse 3. Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 3. Ye eat the fat and clothe you with wool. You kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock. What do he mean? Anybody in the live chat, what do he mean when he said ye eat the fat and ye clothe it you with wool, ye kill them that are fed? What did he mean? Those that take what those shepherds are saying, he kills them because what they saying is trash. It is not food for their spirit. So they are dead. Look at what he's saying. Ye kill them that are fed. So the food that the shepherds are feeding is for those that are dead. Praise the mighty God. So they are dead. So who are they? The seed of the serpent. That's who's getting fed in the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. When you all thinking that the Father's going to pull up and pull us all out. No, he ain't. Y'all bent. They got y'all all bent up and down. Only way y'all going to know is through a prophet or a prophetess of the Most High Yah in this day and time. You're not going to know it through an apostle, a priest, a teacher, definitely not a pastor. You're not going to know it through them. You're going to know it through the servants of the Most High Yah, that the way that he uses them in the end days is likened to what he did in the days. He's using the same ones, his prophet and his prophetess. Okay, now listen to this. We're going back to 3. He said, ye eat the fat. The fat represent, they make themselves fat. And he's not speaking of fat in size, but in wealth, okay? In what they have, you see? He said, ye eat the fat and ye clothe you with the wool. So they getting definitely taken care of. That's why Pastor Dow can get all those people out there, put them in camps, and you should see what they live in, most of them. And then he turn around and get trucks and get name brand stuff because he's living. This is exactly what this is saying. Verse 3, ye eat the fat and ye clothe it you with the wool. That's why he can wear name brand hats and name brand clothes and all these trucks and all these material because he's living off of the people. It ain't that he's entitled to it, but he's living off of, because this is the truth of the whole matter. And this is how not only is it the way Yah would want it, but he wants us to understand that this is the way it should be. And that's how I have always felt. If, say, for instance, Deborah had some land. If I'm on this land and say if I'm driving a 2024 Mercedes, you best bet others on this land, they gonna have the same or close to it. Sister Deborah ain't got no sense. I couldn't see myself riding up and my people don't have no transportation. Furthermore, and their transportation is not matching mine or standing near it. You see what I'm saying? But this is the mindset of the shepherds that he's speaking to. He says in Ezekiel chapter 34, he's breaking this down to Ezekiel. Ye eat the fat. He's talking about the shepherds. They eat the fat and clothe you with the wool. Yea, kill them that are fed. Those that follow behind them, guess what? They dead because they falling behind him. They get fed through him, but they're not getting fed like the flocks are fed spirit and truth. They getting fed his words and not spirit and truth. So they getting fed by his flesh and not his body flesh, but what he believes in, and instead of what Yah has said. So those are those ye kill them that are fed. That means those that believe in you. They want to say you all this and that. They believe in you. They dead. I love that. Because that's what he's saying. Ye kill them that are fed. The ones that fed, you kill them. Because they running around here taking their spirit, honoring and worshiping and serving you. This is what I was saying when I was teaching, let go that man's balls. Just because of what he had, you want it too. And you holding on to it so you can get it. And you don't care if he wrong or anything. You still holding on to it. But what do that mean? You hold on to his balls, you dead too. And that's what it said. And ye kill them that are fed. Now, don't forget, he said he's not feeding the flock. You see what I'm saying? He's feeding those that's willing to hold on to him and be like he is. Now, watch this here. But ye feed not the flock. You see that? So that's showing you, he's talking about the way it is today, y'all, as well. He's telling Ezekiel the way that it is yesterday, and greater is the way that it is today, identical to this. Now, watch this here. Then we go to verse 4. It says, the diseased have ye not. He said, wait a minute. The diseased have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which is sick, neither have ye bound up that which is broken, neither have ye brought again that which is driven away, neither have ye sought that which is lost, but with force and with cruelty have ye rule them. That's Pastor Dow, y'all. Straight up from the floor. That's him. And what that's saying is all these things that's in verse 4. Let's go there. Disease. Strengthen the one that is diseased. Okay? Heal the sick. And bound up the broken. Okay? And driven away and broke, and again, which was those that was driven away. You know how people would leave and never come back? You're supposed to go after them. You know why? Because it could be you why they left. So you want to get it right. You want to make sure if you're going to leave, we got to heal our relationship. Because I'm the shepherd. I'm the one that look over you. I'm the one that leads you and guides you. And if you leaving because of something I'm doing, I'm up Mess Creek. But these people today, these men today, they don't care. They don't care about none of that. Now listen to this. And it says, and sought the lost. They don't go out to seek the lost. They ain't going out to seek. They ain't thinking about, they seeking the people who come in with money. Especially these guys that was basketball players and football players. They seeking them. They seeking wealth to put into their heavens on their earth. Okay? Now it says, but with force and with cruelty have ye ruled them. How is it you going to rule the disease, the sick, the bound, the lost, and those that have been driven away because of your stank, meaning your attitude, your ways, your heart, your hate, your dislike, your pride, your boasting. You done ran them away. But he said you're supposed to get your butt up and follow and bring them back. But see, they ain't gonna do that. And the Father is breaking this down to his prophet. And you're gonna be the one prophet to go tell them what I said. And if you don't, the blood is gonna be on you. Okay, so he ain't playing. So this is what he's saying today, you guys. This is what when y'all hear Sister Deborah, you be thinking, well, Sister Deborah is really hung up on these men and they want to be rulers and leaders. And see, they don't even understand the purpose of wanting to be a ruler. You want to be a leader. You want to be a king. You want to be all that. And he's sitting here challenging you. This is what makes you who you're supposed to be. And you ain't doing none of that. So how is it you want to tell the world on YouTube, Facebook, Patriot, that you are a leader of the Most High God and you have never fulfilled none of this? Okay, so y'all know the heart of the Father. Let's take you back to his heart is said in verse 4, Ezekiel chapter 4. His heart is speaking to you all. His heart is saying the disease have not been strengthened. Okay, the sick has not been healed. The bound is still broken. The ones that has driven away because of your spirit and your hate and your evil, you never sought them. You never went out for the lost. And your cruelty have ye ruled all of them. You see? If that ain't him, I don't know who it is. If that's just showing me that this is what they do. This is who they are. And it's not just Pastor Dow. It's Gino. It's all of T.D. Jakes. All of them that's running around here leading the flocks and thinking they all good. And starting churches here in this state and this state. Woo-wee! Just hearing this from Ezekiel, y'all speaking to Ezekiel, I wouldn't want to be no man on this earth, nor no woman. A woman ain't got no business leading nobody no way. She ain't got no business having no tail on no pulpit. Period! Sit your tail down. It's too much in the body of Hamashiach for a woman to be placed. She needs to get in the order in which Yah has called the body. He don't need you to rule nothing. He got a head. Man don't even need to rule. He got a head. His name is Hamashiach. That's the head over the body of the whole church. And we're running around here trying to get somebody like this, the shepherds, to rule us in the way of the flesh and not getting the shepherd to rule us in the way of the spirit. Thank you, Most High, y'all. I like that. I love that, matter of fact, because he broke that thing down, telling you their job, their responsibility as a shepherd. Don't go near my flock if you're not willing to step into this realm, said the Most High, y'all. Now, let's go down to verse 5. And it says, and they were scattered because there is no shepherd. Wait a minute, Father, y'all, hold up. Hold up. They were scattered because there was no shepherd. Come on, kind of give us a little bit of more. Come on, Father, y'all. Okay, here we go. We in verse 5. And they were scattered because there were no shepherd. And they became meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered. That means, you know how a lot of you all say y'all left the church because they were doing this, they were doing this, they was doing that. Just imagine how many left the church. Do y'all understand the people that left churches when they saw pastors doing this, leaders doing this, the choir, the usher, when you start to see that, you still stay because you're trying to feel that, okay, is it me? Maybe it's me. If I'm the one complaining, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'll just stick a little longer. Then you stay a little longer. Then you see, they still doing this. The more you stay, the more you see. It all the time you might have thought, well, okay, I'll go to this one. But when you get over to the next church and you be there for a year or two, you see it's doing the same thing and worse. Then you go to a next one, you see it's doing the same thing or worse. Because the reality is, we so busy hearing their mouths and ain't heard the word of Yah from the inside of who we are to the out. We used to hearing the outside to the in, and the outside can't touch the inside. That means what they are penetrating is leading your flesh in the broad gate. Only way you can be taught is from the inside, because that's where the only place, which is in your spirit, where Yah come to abide to teach you from that level. He's not coming in your stinky flesh. He ain't got no dealings with your flesh. That's why he gave you a spirit, that he may come and abide in your spirit, and your spirit may abide in him, and he may teach you from that end. He can come into your flesh, and then man come along and get your flesh to join his church. Or it starts off for the first week real good, second week real good, third week real good. Now all of a sudden you're starting to see the things. This is not because of you. It's because of who you are in the Creator who called you. He called you to go around these type of people, and you're thinking, well, no, it's me. It's my fault. I can't get along. I see different. I feel different. I think different, but you don't even know you are different. That's why you're able to see into what they're doing. It's not right. It's because Ahaya has given you the eye to see. You see, and you're seeing it, and a lot of times we blame ourselves. But the reality is, once we have the Ruach, it teaches us it's not you, it's them. I'm going to tell you one of the most powerful things in life when you are what you call truly chosen is to accept that you ain't the fault. We blame ourselves for everything that does not balance in our lives. And we ain't even the fault. We just the chosen one. And because we are the chosen one, we blame ourselves because we say, okay, if I blame myself, then I can forgive myself and move on. And that's how we deal with it. But the truth be told, it ain't you. You see it into a realm because the Father gave you the eye to see and the one ear to hear. And because of that, we battle, because we say we the wrong when they hate, everywhere we go, it's always us. It's supposed to be you. Didn't he go into Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15 and tell the serpent, I'm going to put intimacy between her seed and your seed, serpent, letting you know there's something between. But because we don't understand Genesis 3 and 15, that Yah had already orchestrated us to be totally different from Satan's seed to where we're not even willing to embrace the woman's seed he has called us to. Like unto, he that is born of the flesh is born of the flesh. He that's born of the spirit is born of the spirit. But we don't want to accept that we are born of the spirit. Because we feel it's our fault. We the wrong one. We are doing this. We did this. And it's our fault. But we don't understand it's because we are separate from the serpent seed. And it looked like because the serpent seed got 1 million and here you is one, and you see these million doing wrong, you just assume, well, I'm the wrong one because I'm seeing them. They don't see nothing wrong with it. Same way with the YouTube. I sit back and watch people praise and honor, uplift, and support 100% those that's in the serpent seed. I know they're in the serpent seed because that's why the gate is broad for them. See, they don't know that. Whoops, I done told you, didn't I, Father? They don't know it, but that's why. That's why when they get subscribers and likes and they support them financial, it's because you are the serpent seed. You giving me the food for my flesh. So I will support you. You saying the things I want to see hear. You say you're talking about topics of the world that I want to hear. You see, that's why people chime in and tell them, "Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this?" And the first thing the people call themselves holy than thou. We the people of the righteous ones, and we are the children. We the elect. We the this. But guess what? The moment the world kick in something, they jump on it and get it for what it's worth. And you all thinking they talking about it because they want those that's on the spiritual end to understand. No, they ain't thinking about you. They on here trying to see how many subscribers and likes they can pull in from the worldly topics. Praise the mighty God. They realize if I talk about the Most High Yah, if I talk about the light of spirit and truth, I won't get subscribers. I won't get likes. I won't get praise. And I will not get financial support. They know that. They figured it out long time ago. That's why they can sit on here and be on here so long, yeah. Because they knew the game. They know how to play the game. I ain't never knew how to play the game crooked. I ain't never in my life knew how to play the game crooked. And you know what? I don't want to know. Let's go on. Now here, the Father is still talking to Ezekiel. He's talking to him in verse 6. Now, when I get to verse 7, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. One ultimate question. But let's continue. In verse 6, he says, my sheep wander through all the mountains and upon every high hill, yet my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them. The tribe of Judah ain't seeking for y'all tails. The house of Israel ain't seeking for your tails. GOCC, all these pastors and all these Hebrew Israelite cults and groups, they ain't seeking for your tail. Now, this is the third verse that he spoke of because in verse, what was that? In verse 5, he said, again, that which was driven away, neither ye sought that which was lost. They ain't going out to look for no lost. They ain't going out to seek you because you driven away. They ain't thinking about you. Next. That's their mindset. This is the shepherd's mindset. So listen to this. Here he go again. He says it again in verse 6. Ezekiel 34 and verse 6. My shepherd wandered through, my sheep wandered through all the mountains and upon every high hill. Yea, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none search or seek after them. I explained to you all over and over and over. I am what you call a living prophetess, not a dead one. That means that I don't answer to the dead. You get what I'm saying? I don't answer to the dead, for I am a living prophet. Not only am I living in this day and time that has been prophesied, I'm living because I am speaking spirit and truth, and I am in the light. So I'm going to I'm heading in the narrow gate to life. I'm not dead, nor will I die. Okay? Meaning I'm gaining that which he promised, eternal. You don't have to know where you're going to head, but it's no reason I'm going to deny that I'm going to the lake of hell when I know the things that he continued to invest in me every day. Hell can't even stand me standing anywhere near it, or it probably close up to keep me anywhere near it. That's how assured that Yah has set me to liberty. The lane he has created for me, he created for me to run in, and I'm going to do just that. So in verse 6, he's sitting here telling you they scattered the flocks, and guess what? All over the face of the earth, and none search or seek after them. That's deep, y'all. That's real deep. Let me tell you how I'm seeing behind it. So the Father is saying to me, Deborah, you know how you said they came over in ships? They never was concerned to bring each other to unity. Today is 2023. We in the midnight hour, and still yet these brothers are not out here to bring you into the fold, to seek the lost, to seek those who were driven away, to seek those that are scattered. They don't give a rat's behind about your tail. But you running around on YouTube pages and all these giving them glory and honor like they somebody. And y'all sitting here schooling Ezekiel for our day time. So that's why I said this is food for my spirit, definitely. Ezekiel 34. And I think the Most High can steering me away from what I was studying to bring me to this level. Now listen to what happened. He said that they search or seek after them. They didn't. Who is he talking about? The house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. They have no union. Those who call themselves shepherd, they don't even come to look for you, y'all. They don't come look for the lost. Okay, you said that they sleep and they're not awakened. Your butt ain't out looking for them. You know why? They think that it's about them and theirs. That's why I say family who think that it's my family and what I got. Let's go get us a place out away from everybody, away from the city, away from the suburbs. Let's go over here. Let's get us some land and it's us. Yeah, I ain't never told you it's about you and your family. You won't find no scripture in here telling you that. Unless you are dead. That means predestined to the lake of fire. And that's what's getting him. He said, you want to be the shepherd, but you don't go out to search the flock. This is what he said. You don't go after to seek them or to search for. Nowhere in the world. But you sitting talking about we awaken. So is it just you and yours? Yes. That's how they believe it. And I even look at it as a form of righteousness. Why people won't support me is because I speak spirit and truth. I walk in the light. People wouldn't even know how to live in that area. If Sister Deborah got land, you wouldn't even know how to live in it, because righteous would be resting on that land. They so used to darkness, they wouldn't even think that somebody would come back for. They wouldn't even think that you will search for, because they have written, how would I say, they have been driven in darkness for so long, they don't even know what the light looks like. And that's why Yah has to be greater in them than he is in the world, because he is the light, okay, to lead them so they can come to some sense. If Sister Deborah got land, you go on the land and you live your best life. You see, that Yah has given you the breath of. You see, but what people are doing, they're not going after the people. You calling these, you telling them, we the people, we the Jews, we the chosen, we the children, we are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but you all feeding yourself with flesh. Look at GOCC, got academy and everything. He would never teach y'all not one lesson of what I've taught in the last 5 years. Won't come nowhere near it, because he's getting fat. He's getting fat. And he's feeding those that's died, that's killed already. What do you say they killed that, Deborah? Heavens. That's why y'all telling Ezekiel he can feed the ones that's already dead, because they dead already. And they read how he feeding them, because they agree with everything he's saying. Okay, so when you get to verse 7, it says, therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. Hear the words of Yah. Verse 8, as I live, said the Most High Yah. That's dangerous, y'all. That's dangerous. That's dangerous for him to say something like that to Ezekiel. Listen to what he said, y'all. Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 8. As I live, said the Most High Yah, surely because of my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field. Because there were no shepherd, neither did the shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock. I've been on that so heavy in the last 2 years. I told y'all been eating from the plate of the flesh. You ain't had nothing for the spirit. Now see, this is what he's saying. These shepherds are not feeding y'all. I told y'all these people on this devil platform is not feeding you. They are not giving you spirit and truth. They are not even giving you a pin needle or light. They are not saying, hey, bro, hey, sis, that's the narrow gate. It's this way. Let me show you the way. They're not even doing that. And the Father saying it right here. We're going to go over verse 8, and then I'm going to say something to you, and I know it's going to make every last one of y'all be lost. And I'm going to ask you the most powerful question of what Sister Deborah then went over in Ezekiel, from Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 1 to 8. Let's go over 8 again. He's telling Ezekiel, if you think I'm playing with you, mark my word. Listen to what he says. As I live, said Ahijah, surely because my flock became a prey, my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherd. Now, wait a minute. Neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherd fed themselves and fed not my flock. Verse 9. Therefore, O ye shepherds, hear my word of higher. Y'all is cutting up from the floor up, telling Ezekiel. He's telling us that today, y'all. We sitting around here like we, in how would I say, stuck on dead, stuck on stupid, and can't see nothing that's being said out of this book when the Ruach is revealing. He's telling you the people on these platforms, as well as in reality, all of these churches out here, all of them are not about the food for the spirit. What Sister Deborah been telling you all for quite a long time. This is what he called feeding my flock. You need to feed my people about me, not about you. You need to feed my people about me, not about the issues of the world, so you can get subscribers in life. See, this is what he's saying. And a lot of them are going to get in trouble because even though they don't understand what a shepherd is, that is people who lead in the flock. So people on this devil platform, they got subscribers and like you are the shepherd he's speaking of as well. You see how you can get caught in the same fence? See, you thinking he's talking about pastors, bishops, apostles, deacons, priests. No, he's talking about you too on YouTube. You're feeding these people the world and the way the world is orchestrated and the things that's happening in the world. But what about me? Why ain't you giving them my prophecy so they can be able to rest in what I'm saying? And then I come about in them, and then they have the light to see that the things are going on in the world I already prophesied. So why are you making it look like the world is doing something and I ain't nothing? Okay, the question in this here, Ezekiel 34, verse 1 to 9. It's something very powerful in that. Very powerful. And I saw an error, but it makes more sense because it shows where the error is at. Okay. The Father is telling you about the shepherds, those who are leading the flock. Okay. He's telling them y'all are wronging the people because you're not giving people spirit and truth, the food for their spirit. All the time he said you're not feeding the flock. You're causing them to scatter. You're not going after them. You see? When they fall away, you're supposed to go after them and pull them back. You're supposed to give them spiritual food to nourish them, to take care of them. The Father is saying this to the shepherds. But what I realized was this, you guys. These shepherds he's talking about is in the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. That's the sad thing about it. But that's the reality of truth. He's telling them, he's telling you, he's telling Sister Deborah, I ain't speaking to the heathens and Gentiles. Why is it they always want to lean to the Gentiles and the heathens? Because that's their scapegoat. He said, I've been talking to the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah since Genesis. And how they escape is they confound and confuse you all that I'm talking to another people that's doing something to them and not to them themselves. And here he's telling Ezekiel, let me tell you who these people are. I scattered their tails. And these people are running around, these Hebrew Israelites are running around here talking, we the people, we the this, we the that, we the this. And he said they have never went out to the scattered ones and brought them in. They talk to y'all. I started 5 years ago and I was saying it then. They talking about we awaken. Where have you awakened to? Stupidity? Because you ain't awakened to nothing spirit and truth. Because I ain't heard it in 5 years. So to me, that's what make me know that all this Hebrew Israelite trash is a code. It's a way that you black people feel they can escape into. But y'all is to explain it to Ezekiel, it's a bad deal, y'all. Y'all got a bad deal. I'm telling you straight up from the floor, y'all got a bad deal. And if you go their way, guess what? What did he say? Watch this here. If you go their way, he said, and with, no, where is it at? Let me go back up here. In verse 3, ye kill them that are fed. So those that are fed, you kill them because you giving them your food for your flesh and they dying. That means they dead. They can't stand a chance. But y'all think he's coming to get y'all? Y'all some straight up fools because they've been teaching y'all that. Y'all even packed to the mindset, oh, he come to get us out of, baby, you have not even seen the lawlessness on the land. You have not seen the fulfillment that's taking place of great sorrow in Matthew's verse Matthew's chapter 24 and verse 7. Do you know what that means? No, you don't. That's why he says these are the days of sorrow. When he spoke Matthew's chapter 24 and 7, these are the days of sorrow. Not the wars and rumors of wars, but this right here. Nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. So you Hebrew Israelite, you think you got a kingdom? You do. A kingdom with stupidity. The shepherds that's leading the flock and not feeding the flock, nor helping the flock. Well, what do you mean, Deborah? Well, he told Ezekiel, the disease have not been strengthened. The sick has not been healed. The bound never have the bound. You never bound the broken. Mean the bound needed broken. You driven away. You brought, and again, which was driven away. You never went out to salt those that was driven away by your nasty attitude, by your nasty spirit. He said, the lost, you sought not which was lost. You forced, and with cruelty have ye ruled over them. Woo-wee! And that is my testimony to you all. As a prophetess in the wilderness, I can speak these things. I've seen this. I keep saying to y'all, this is what I see as a prophetess. I see this among the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah, especially the tribe of Judah. It's the wicked of the wickedness. Now, don't think that he ain't got no born of the spirit in Judah. Oh, yes, he do. But you best bet it's not what y'all been entertaining on this devil platform. Okay? Now, the question is to everybody in the live chat. The question is, why is it the Father calls the sheep his, but don't call the shepherd? As you see here, you'll see him not call the shepherd his, because he wants you to understand they can't be mine, y'all. What are y'all following? What are y'all supporting? What are y'all liking? What are you subscribing? These shepherds are not mine. Oh, yes, the sheep and the flock is mine, but the shepherd, I tell you all are running to and fro, sitting amongst them. Can't wait to get on YouTube to go in front of them, but they are not mine. That's what he's saying. Let's go to verse 31. Sons of Yah, no, verse 34. Chapter 34, Ezekiel. Verse 2. Son of man, prophesies against the shepherd of Israel. Prophesied and say unto them, thus said Ahiah unto the shepherds, woe unto the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. He's telling you this. Just because y'all got these apostles, Maureen, watchmen, seers, pastors, prophets, ministers in the house of Israel, he's telling you they are not of him. Why you think they can't feed the flock? Why do you think they cannot heal the disease, strengthen the disease, or heal the sick, or bound up the broken, or go after the driven away, or go and salt the lost? It's because they are not the shepherd of Yah. They are just shepherds of Israel. that don't have no respect for Yah's sheep nor his flock. That's the beginning of what I've read so far to you all. And I can tell you that might go over your head. Because if you notice, he says, should not the shepherd feed the flocks? He's just letting you know that's, if they representing me, this is what they're going to do. But those sheep in Israel are not mine. I try to tell y'all, the division was made before the foundation of the world. You either in the Lamb Book of Life or you in the books. These shepherds are in the books, acting on the earth as if they the shepherds of the Most High Yah. They've been getting away with it for a mighty long time, said the Most High Yah. And the only way that he's going to get them is he going to leave them here. And that's what's going to shock them, is when they left. That's what's going to get them, y'all. They're going to be left right here. Wow, y'all take his small remnant of out, they're going to be left right here trying to figure it out. But guess what? They ain't even be to try to catch up or try to run, try to get there. He's going to get his and leave your tail right here in the chaos in which you are. See, and on here, he's telling you about the sheep. Those that are, Sister Deborah's trying to tell y'all for the last 5 years, these people on this Deborah platform is not teaching you. I mean, none of them. And I'm sitting here watching this and trying to figure out, Father, why are all these people following these people? But these people are dead. And if you're following them, you too are dead. These sheep and the flock were scattered. But the shepherds, they weren't represented as shepherds of Yah. Because if they were scattered, Yah was expecting his shepherds to go after them. So what happened? The shepherds of Israel is not the shepherds of the seed of the woman. They are not born of the spirit. They the opposite. The terror, they got into the wheat and lived with them like unto that parable. And let me go on. Let me continue. So what is learned in this here? Yah is letting you know his is scattered. And what did he say he's come to do? To get his scattered people from all four corners. He's going to collect what belongs to him. Them shepherds, they're not going nowhere, y'all. So if you out here following these shepherds out here, and you following all these people on YouTube thinking that they represent your father, keep on following. You dead already. You dead. You dead already. Now you got a mark. It's in the books. Your whole works is in the books, saying you followed the shepherds that never seeked out the Father's flock nor his sheep. They act as if they were your shepherd among you. But what did he say? They fed only themselves. That's what they doing today, y'all. And y'all think they teaching y'all something. Y'all think y'all getting full meal deals. And that's what bothers me more than anything. People really think they getting full meal deals up under these people. I mean, they up under them tight. And they'll come up on this page, listen, and zoom straight out like a serpent. I said, that's right on time, Papa. The serpent know how to move out of the error in which he don't belong. So, as you go to verse 9, it says, therefore, O ye shepherd, hear the word of Yah. Thus said Ahaya. Now, do you know they won't teach this? They won't come nowhere near this. Why? Because they know he's talking to them. Why would Sister Deborah go here? Because I know he ain't talking to me. I know who he talking to. So I can come here and go over this with y'all. But you'll never hear them coming over here and cover stuff like this. GEOCC, he wouldn't dare come near this. Because it would kill him to have to speak truth. So he have to speak enough that he can get the people to follow him. Okay? He ain't gonna give them spirit and truth. He's got to get enough of them to join his academy so he can live off the fat. Never going after the people and leading the people or guiding the flock, just letting them scatter. And only one that's drawing they draw into him like he is the sheep, because they don't know he is not the shepherd. They are not the shepherd on YouTube. I told y'all, this is the devil's platform. This is not a platform where the men of God or the women of God is on here giving you food for your spirit, or showing you where the narrow gate is, or showing you what the light is. Oh, they ain't showing you that. They feed in their flock. And I said to you all time after time, that's all they're going to do. And here it is, he telling Ezekiel the same thing. Now, let's go to verse 10. Thus said Ahiah, behold, I am against the shepherd, and I will require my flock at their hand, and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. Neither shall the shepherd feed themselves anymore. So he's talking about destroying them. So that's why I told you, when you go to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25, there he tells you they die by the sword, and even the mighty men, which is those who think they tough, they're going to die. See, y'all thinking, they have taught y'all that this Most High is a wimp. He don't have the power. He don't have the authority. He ain't nobody, because you haven't seen his mighty hand. Oh, you see it, but just wait till he's still turning up the fire. See, a lot of y'all don't understand. You're going to go down in the fire on the earth. And then when you wake up to glory for judgment, the other fire for eternal will be waiting for you too. So you're going to get it on both ends. That what you do in the flesh, you're going to be held liable. That what you do in the spirit, you're going to pay the price. So you're going to run your tails around here and hook up with these people instead of preparing your inner man to be getting up out of here and teaching people spirit and truth, showing them that the light of the Most High lives high in you and not in the flesh of these people on these devil platforms. Now, this is what he said. Listen to this. And this is verse 10. And he said, for I will deliver my flock from the mouth, that they may not be the meat for them. See, he's delivering them from their mouth, because their mouth is able to control you all. I try to say that over to you all. This is the devil's platform. They can say a young lady got killed climbing a mountain. All of the Hebrew Israelites, male and female, their whole topic is about the girl that was climbing the mountain and died. They cover anything Satan put an album on, they start to dance with it. Why? Because they're trying to grip subscribers and likes and praise that they are a news reporter. They are famous. See, a lot of things that's with the devil platform making people think they famous. They can't live no other way. They trying to live like Beyonce. You see, like Jay-Z. In their minds, they can't understand that you would do anything, you would say anything, you would give the message of the world just to think you can climb on the fame that Jay-Z and Beyonce. Y'all sick. You are sick. Because the flock is what? Scattered. They're not getting any food for their spirit, because you won't feed the spirit food. You got to feed the flesh. And those that listen to your flesh, he said, they die. They are killed because they follow your mouth. Okay? Now, he's saying here, my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat for them. See? Now, why is it? Somebody kind of answer this. Why would y'all be talking this to Ezekiel about the shepherd's mouth? Did not Sister Deborah been saying that for the last 2 years? They on this devil platform feeding y'all food for y'all flesh. 2 long years. Now here it is in Ezekiel. The father schooling Ezekiel. That the flock from their mouth of the shepherd, that they may not be meat for them. Because them running their mouth, you're supporting them. I told you, they get on this devil platform so you can be the food for their tables, for their families. And you thinking they giving you a full meal deal. And they ain't giving your tail nothing. For meat for their plate. And here he's talking about this. Listen to what he says in verse 10, Ezekiel 34 and verse 10. For I will deliver my flock from their mouth. Because a lot of you all run to their pages and you are meat for them. Why? Because they get subscribers, the likes, they get all the praise and all the glory. And then what? A check at the end of the month. And a lot of you support them financially. So you are meat to them. And that's not in spirit and truth. That's just it meat. But he said he's going to do, you know what? I just realized what he said. He said he's going to have to deliver you from that. That's deep. He got to deliver you. That shows how stupid you really is. That the Father feels that he has to deliver you from it. Because it's such a, didn't I tell you, a gone state of mind. Okay? Now he said in verse 11, for thus said Ahijah, behold, I, even I, will both search my sheep and seek them out. Praise. He said he's going to have to do it himself. Praise the Most High Yah. And that's what I say to you all. Get him. Not Sister Deborah. And nobody else. And this is what he's saying here. He's going to have to seek your butt out himself. Okay. Now verse 12. As a shepherd seeks out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I, Ahijah said, seek out my sheep. He keep calling you his sheep, his flock. But he ain't calling the shepherd he is. Ain't that deep? That's because Judah will sit in the front of you telling you we together, we one, I'm the shepherd and you the sheep and I'm doing this. Don't believe that. They're your greatest enemy because they ain't giving you food for your spirit. And they ain't getting you to learn of the Most High Yah as if he's the only thing you need to know. They ain't going to do that. They need you to trust them. And they be your God. And you serve them. And you eat the flesh from their plate. Okay? Now, in verse 12, as a shepherd seek out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of all places where they been scattered in the cloudy and dark days. That's the days to get us up out of here, y'all. He gonna seek what's his. He's coming for what he is. And I like what he says, the dark days. What do Sister Deborah tell y'all? We in the midnight hour. Midnight hour means dark, evil days. And there he is telling Ezekiel the same thing. In the way that Ezekiel, which who is a prophet, can understand how it's going to be in our days. He's telling him like a cloudy, see that cloudy scattered in the cloudy and dark days. I tell y'all, this is the dark days y'all we in. Okay, now verse 13, and I will bring them out from the people and gather them from the countries and will bring them to their own land and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers and in all the inhabited places of the country. That's beautiful. He telling you that's when you're going to get your feeding. I'm going to have to take you from amongst all this crap and get you up out of here. I'm going to have to do minds like that. Is he going to get the shepherds? No, they're not going nowhere, y'all. They're going to be right here. Those that was fed by the shepherds, they're going to be left right here. Okay. Now, verse 14, it reads, but I like how verse 12 tell you it's the cloudy and dark days, because I try to break down to you all how critical this day is. But I guess when he continued the judgment and the fire and everything, then you all will see how bad it is. And then you'll yearn for him to come right now. Okay. So in verse 14, we in Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 14, I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains, Israel shall therefore be. There shall they lie in the good fold and in the fat pasture, shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel. Praise the mighty God. He got you up out of here now. He's telling it to Ezekiel. I will feed my flock, and I will cause them to lie down, saith the Most High Yah. Verse 16, I will seek that which was lost and bring again that which was driven away, and I will bind up that which was broken. Hallelujah. And will strengthen that which is sick. But I will destroy the fat and the strong. See, they think he playing. They don't think he's gonna destroy them. They're gonna be destroyed. And you guess who's gonna destroy them? The heathens. Gonna destroy them right here on this land. I will feed them with judgment. He said he's gonna feed them with judgment. But listen to what he says. He said, but I will. No, I might. Oh, I shall. No, I will. Deborah, you better tell them. I will destroy the fat of their strong. I will feed them with judgment. Now listen to 17. And as for you, O my flock, thou said Ahiah, behold, I judge between cattle and cattle. And cattle represent, say for instance, all the tribe of Judah. He's going to judge it. Why? Because it's two. One born of the spirit and one born of the serpent seed. He's going to judge the two. That's why he said, listen to what he said. I judge between cattle and cattle. That means when he pull up on Judah, he knows that there's one that's born of the spirit and one that's born of the flesh. But they still Judah. Now listen to what he said. Between the ram and the he-goats. I like what he said, the he-goats. He's going to choose, he's going to judge between the rams and the he-goats. Oh, I love that, Father. Yeah. Verse 18. I love him saying that because that tells the world that he's telling you how I'm coming in on the meat. See, they think they think that they crap don't stink. When they go to the toilet, they think it smells like flowers. But let me tell you something. Wait till my Father pull up on your butt. You're going to smell yourself, even when you dead. Now watch this here. Verse 18. We still in Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 18. Seemeth it a small thing unto you to have eaten up the good passage. But ye must tread down with your feet the residue of your pastures, and to have drunk of the deep waters. But ye must must foul the residue with your feet. Verse 19. And as for my flock, praise the mighty Yah, they eat that which ye have trodden with your feet. They drink that which ye has fouled with your feet. Go back. Y'all don't get it, do you? Who in the live chat know what he mean? Let's go there. And this is where I have a problem, because there's some power in that. Listen to what he says again. Let's go back to 18. We're going to go back to 18. Down in 18, what he says. But ye must foul the residue of your feet. He's talking to the shepherds. Foul the residue of your feet. And as my flock, they eat that which ye has trodden with your feet. Their feet was trash. And the flock ate their trash that was under their feet. That's what it said. Now watch this here. That was with your feet, and they drunk that which ye have fouled under your feet. So the order of the shepherd was trash, and y'all ate it. Y'all ate it. Those were his steps. It was trash, and y'all ate of it. That's deep. Now, verse 20. Therefore, thou said Ahiah unto them, behold, I, even I, will judge between the fat cattle and between the lean cattle. The lean, you know who they are. That's the flock. But the fat is the shepherd. He's letting you know I'm going to judge between them. Yep, they came out the house of Israel. They came out of Judah, but I'm judging their butt. They're going to remain right here on this earth. That's going to be the heaviest judgment they could ever expect. Because when everybody gone, they're going to look around and they're going to realize we've been left. That's a heavy feeling, y'all, because after then, it's going to be a chaos. Okay? Because ye has thrust with the side and with the shoulder and pushed all the disease with your horns, till ye have scattered them abroad. See, he's telling y'all that these shepherds are messing you all up intentionally. Intentionally, he's telling Ezekiel. What the shepherds, those who are supposed to be leading the flock, what they are doing in the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. What is it y'all don't understand? But it's okay. I just thank the Father for giving me an opportunity to bring this to you. Because I like one thing he says. Ain't nobody going to be able to stand before the throne. Because there ain't going to be no more mercy, Deborah. Ain't no mercy going to be at the throne with them. I'm going to judge them based on what I knew about them. You see? So people ain't getting away with nothing. I know it seems like it. It feels like it. They ain't getting away with nothing. And it feels to them that they got it made. Why do y'all, have it ever dawned on y'all why they are building a heavens here on the earth? They are building not because of what's coming. They're building to prepare their comfortable lifestyle. No matter what happened to you, we over here in ours, we comfortable. That's why they have for many years keep telling y'all, you need to do this. You need to grow this. You need to grow this. Why are we telling people, get your spirit right with y'all? So if they come in on the city, y'all will be with you and he will protect you. They ain't going to tell you that. They're going to tell you, look what we got out here. We got this. We got this. We've been telling y'all for years to get this, build this, build this. How can you say that to people who don't have or have not stolen the fat from them to build what you have? Y'all still don't understand what he's saying fat. Because they have robbed you all to get to what they got. Because you thought they had the true meat. They still got meat, but it's the meat for the flesh and not for the spirit. It's vain and vexed in the eyes of Yah. So you've been following the wrong ones. Okay? So he says here in verse 20, therefore thou said Ahiah unto them, behold, I, even I, judge between the fat. There it go. The fat cattle. And between the lean cattle. Why is it he's going to do that? It's because the fat took advantage of the lean. And they let every lean not have, that's why the lean is lean. Because they robbed them so that they may be fat. That's what YouTube do. That's why they get on here and telling y'all what they think that you want to hear in the flesh. Because they don't have the food for you in the spirit, nor the food for you in the light. So they teach you what you want to hear in the flesh. Okay? And it does well, because your flesh is ever wanting to hear and to see. Okay? Now, verse 21. In verse 21, because ye have thrust with side and with your shoulder. That means thinking you tough and big. You know, I'm bad. You know, I'm tough. You know, you have thrust with side and with shoulder and pushed all the disease of your horns till you have scattered them abroad. Therefore will I save my flock, and they shall no more be a prey. And I will judge between cattle and cattle. Letting you know, don't be no fool thinking the whole house of Israel and the tribe of Judah is getting out of here. What you mean you're going to judge? Only what's mine's going to come out, Deborah. And these shepherds are not coming out with my flock. Praise the mighty Yah. Let's go to verse 23. And I will set up one shepherd over them, and he shall feed them, even my servant David. He shall feed them and he shall be their shepherd. And I, Ahiah, will be their God. And my servant David, a prince among them. I, Ahiah, have spoken it. Now, he's letting you know. You think that those shepherds is coming? No, they're not. No, they're not. Go back over Ezekiel 34 and you'll see the shepherds are not coming. Because the shepherds were never his. Because they didn't go after the lost. They didn't go after the scattered. They didn't go after the broken ones, the broken in spirit, the broken heart, the lost. They didn't go after any of that. So they don't represent Yah. So Sister Deborah wants to say to you all that your trust needs to be in the unseen God versus the seen God that you have made all these people on this devil platform be. I like this here because I think it's 3 or 4 books telling you the same identical thing about the shepherd. And this is what I was explaining to you all, that he said that everything is clearly seen. So if everything is clearly seen, we are seeing wrong. What is going on within us? That he that is greater in us, but yet we can't see out of us, even though he's the greatest in you. He's the revealer. He's the one to show you things. He's the one to teach you all things. So these things is something that even you yourself need to even focus on. That wait a minute, am I looking to flesh or am I looking to spirit? That should be a question that you should have within yourself, not to nobody else. Am I serving flesh or am I serving spirit? Pray to the Father that he will intervene and help you to be the best that you can be in him and not in this world. Because you don't have to prove yourself to this world. The world didn't make you, nor can they break you. So you don't owe nothing to this world. You don't owe nothing to no man, no woman. You understand? Seek ye the face of Yah while he can be found. Because we are in the midnight hour and he's coming for what is his. And one thing I want to be found, still saying what I'm saying today, putting him on the highest pedal, because there's no one in the second line, third, fourth, fifth, even at the ground level. I wouldn't put no one but him. Because no one on the earth is worthy to be in the spot that he is. And never will be. We just putting people all up high and mighty and put him down so low. We give everybody else the praise and the glories and give him no honor. Brought our ugly self over here profaning his name in the face of the heathens. And have the audacity to say the heathens bothering us. He brought you to a land to show you your ugliness. Because everything that took place to you or on you or through you is the same thing you did in the promised land. See, y'all didn't know that, did you? So while you whining and hooping and hollering about the curse itself, you need to be praising it. You need to be honoring it and telling the Father, your stiff neck, your rebellion tail, your disobedient butt needed that curse. You needed it. And turn around and salute the Most High Yah in it. I see your will, Father. I see your way in this curse. I see your will. We need it. That means you owning that thing. You owning that thing. And not trying to put it off the heathens and the Gentiles bothering you. Baby, let me tell you something. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't parked your tail in Matthew 24 and verse 7. You ain't been up in Revelation and all that stuff about to kick off. And you standing around here talking about they bothering y'all. What are you doing? Or what have you done? Have you ever asked that question about yourself? He's sitting here telling Ezekiel. We got the wrong, those that are leading us is kicking our butts. in all the worldly ways. They ain't helping us spiritual. And we're giving them all the praise and the glory and honor. So if anybody in the live chat has a question, please put it forth because we do have a little time to answer questions, okay? We do have time to answer questions, okay? But yes, again, I thank the Most High Yah for being all that He is, all that He was, and all that He's going to be. And I give Him praise, honor, and glory for Him being who He is, all by Himself. He don't need Deborah. He don't need you. He don't need nobody to make Him who He is. And that's how we have to worship Him, in a way that He's all that in some, and He don't need none of us to be who He is. I love the power of I am. I am this. How you like me now? I'm this. He can be it all because He is the all in all. Everything you see is I am. Not yours, but He is. You breathing on I am. You hear on I am. You think on I am. Everything in your function come from His breath. They're giving you life. That is the I am. That belongs to Him. He letting you know I can be this, I can be this, I can be this, I can be. You ain't got the right to tell Him who He can be and who He ain't. You just got to glorify Him, saying He all that and some, and stop giving all this glory to these people, putting these people on pedestal and making them think they somebody. You know what He did? Let me show y'all something. I was going to show you something. I don't know what, you know what, you guys, I am not kidding you all. I cannot explain what's going on with my son. But let me show you something that He sent me. I'm going to show y'all something. And it's strange. And that's the only child I've had that the father says, you will never know him. And you know what? I'm having a hard time knowing him. Okay, let me show y'all something. I'm just going to let y'all get a grip of it. And I've been searching it all day, trying to my best to find him and cannot find him. He is so secretive. I can't explain it, y'all. That's my baby, but I'm sorry, I can't explain it. So when you asked me that, I was like, let me get on here and see if I can see if he upload anything. He's so secretive, y'all. I mean, it just... Let me show it to you. Okay. Let me see if you can see it. Oh, shoot. I got to turn it up.
The King of Kings.
Okay.
For I am charged. My name is Joseph Brown, and you're watching The World Address.
Maybe one of y'all can tell me. Maybe the father will give y'all something to help this little old lady out. Because I'm going to let you see it. Wait a minute.
Greetings, my friends. It is a great honor to be speaking with you all. On behalf of the King of Kings, for I am charged. My name is Joseph Brown, and you're watching The World Address.
Bam! Did y'all get to see it? Give me a thumbs up if you saw it. This is him. But you know what? I know he came here and we did a video. He didn't upload it. I don't know. Maybe he uploaded on another page. I don't know. But soon as I get it, I would put it forth. Okay. Did you get to see it? Okay, good. It was kind of dark. It's really too dark. But he even have someone to edit his. But that there was the only one he sent me, and that was about a month and a half ago. But I thought it was neat because I like the things he said. But this is the thing, y'all. Who knows what he said his title is? Who in live chat can do you remember what he said his title is? Wait a minute. Let me let you hear it again. Let me see if y'all can tell me.
Greetings, my friends. It is a great honor to be speaking with you all. On behalf of the King of Kings, for I am charged. My name is Joseph Brown, and you're watching The World Addressed.
Okay, you're right. The World Addressed. Now, as a prophetess, when I see that, I'm like saying, hey, this ain't about the world. Wait a minute now. But this is what I'm in my mind. But on the other end, my thoughts are not y'all's thoughts. My ways are not y'all's ways. He always addressed the world. Addressing the world means telling it it's over. This is what's about to throw down. You did this, you did this, you did this. Instead of them just thinking that, okay, I don't understand why this is happening. He's going to address the world with what Yah gives him to address them with. You see what I'm saying? I give Yah all praise and all glory. Because in me, as a prophetess, first thing I say, he ain't got nothing to say to the world. But yes, he does. He the one gave the order to the world to do the evil that they're doing in this day. So he can address the evil as well as the righteous one. Praise the mighty Yah. But that was the first thing I thought of, addressing the world. Okay, but that's his title. What was it? The world addressed, as if the world needs to know you're going down. You see? So that's the realm I had to step in to kind of grip what he said. But whatever he's saying, you guys, it's above Sister Deborah. Because the way Yah told me when I was young that there are going to be those that's coming, they're not going to play, they're going to be bold, they're going to speak, they're going to tell what is about to happen. So that's when I was young. So this is what day we are in. So I'm excited about him uploading the videos, and he sends his videos off so they can be what do you say, edit. You know, he pays for it to be edited, because I guess he don't know how, but he got all kind of cameras and stuff that he bought to do everything. But I'm like, oh no, I said I'll get a laptop and do what I'm doing. No. But I believe he got videos already set. I don't know if he uploaded it and went under another name or what. And he's so private to where you ask him, he tell you 2 or 3 words. He won't hold a conversation, you know. So I just leave him where he at and let the Most High do what he does with him. And soon as he tells me something, I will give you all his YouTube page. Okay, somebody got Acts 20. Let's see what Acts 20 is saying to us. Acts 20 and verse 17. Ooh, she went all the way down to 38. Acts 17 all the way down to 38. Acts 17. Therefore, dispute he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout person, and in the market daily with them that meet with him. Then certain philosophers of the Ephraim and the South encountered him, and some said, what will he babble say? Babbler say. Others said he seemed to be a sitter forth strange gods, because he preached unto them Jesus in the resurrection. And what is this here? Jason house assaulted. So they assault him, because I didn't read it all. Then Paul stood in the midst of the Mars hill and said, ye men of Athens, I perceive that all things ye are too superstition. Oh, I don't know what's going on with this. Paul made a tent, and okay. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff going on with that. Yeah, with Acts 17 through what you say, 38. What tell me what you oh, that's what you feel in the spirit. Okay. But yeah, I read over that to see what I could understand in it, because right now he's talking about somebody who's speaking out of order in his synagogue and with the Jews. But I tell you one thing, I said a young lady who did a YouTube not TikTok. She broke that thing down with explaining to us that it was us as a people who said crucify the Messiah. Okay, but yet he came on our behalf, but we was wanting to crucify our own that came in our own nation. We was willing to crucify. Okay, so it was a lot of stuff she was saying that I was like, that's deep, sister. That is deep. You know, a lot of things she said I didn't agree with, but it's some things she said was very eye-opener. And it made people think. That's sharp. And I said, now see, what this sister was saying, young lady, she couldn't have been no more than 21, was so powerful. And I said, now, do the men know anything about this? Because this is very powerful, what she was saying. Now, they don't know nothing about it. I can't say that they don't, but I'm glad she put that out because a lot of it had a lot of power in it. Yes, a lot of things she said. The title what's that title? What? Addressing the World is what you're saying. That's a good title. Oh, yeah, that's what someone else says. Okay, tell him we need to. Yeah, right. We do. We need to address. That's what he said his title going to be. But I was on there today looking it up. I couldn't find it. So I'm like, wait a minute. So I don't know what he did or if he changed it or what. I never said anything about his title, but I don't know what he's doing. But I think he has a word. And like I said before, even if it's not my son, if a man come up and he's speaking spirit and truth, and I can see the light, hey, I'm gone, y'all. So long, I'm following him. I'm following him. But it's not. Y'all has shown me so far that none of them have it. So I believe that he still got some of them that do. You see, there are those that have. And another thing, what's his name? Stephen Derby or Darby. When I heard him, I try to ask the Father. This man was saying a lot of things, Father, that was truly eye-opener for the Hebrew Israelites. Let me stop calling Hebrew Israel, for the tribe of Judah. And I said, if he was living, they all should have followed him. That's what in my mind. But I think about all the true prophet back in the days. God took them up out of here. He took them up out of here. They died young. He used them and got them out of here. And as I listened to him, and I said, "Ooh, boy, that man is talking. He's talking." Only reason why I listen to him because a lot of things he's saying is identical to what I say. And I'm like, oh, so it lead me to understand that he was a prophet, even though he was a pastor. Okay, he was a prophet because a prophet can only say the things that I say. Okay, and liking the way I said, the way he broke things down, I'm like, wait a minute, what he doing? And then it got me kind of wondering, well, why did he die, Father? He was coming. He said all his prophets, most of them died. They came in and went out, just like the Messiah. Yeshua came in and went out. He said they got him out of here. He didn't do that with the prophetess, but he did it with the prophet. And I said, wow, that's deep. That's deep because they had their job. They had their hands full, y'all. Just imagine every time you wake up, God's giving you something to go to talk to the multitude. And when you get to the multitude, they're going up against you. Doing that for 40 years, 50 years. That's a long time, baby. So even this man, I sit back and I say, he never gave up his word Christian. He never gave it up, but he spoke the truth. He never gave that word Christian up, but he spoke the truth. Oh, yes, he did. And I do too. I said to the Father, I said, now, after we talked about Revelation and in the 7 churches, I realized that the tribe of Judah don't understand the capacity of the word Christian that exists at one time. And those that followed under the belief of Paul teaching, they were gripping to be, they were more so, they the one that gripped being Christians. Now, what I believe without a doubt happened, if you go to your history, And y'all might need to do this. You go to the history, you will see why did Christians get prosecuted? Why was those that was under the Christian that was not the Israel nor the tribe of Judah, how did they get prosecuted like Peter and Paul and all of them? How did they get executed and set on fire and beat and whooped if they didn't have truth? Why were they killing them? Because they didn't want to they didn't want to denounce the Messiah. So why were they killing them if they didn't have the truth of the Messiah? Why are these people dying like Peter, Paul, and all James them? Why and Stephen? Why did these people die like that? Why did these men and women and their children die tormented by the Romans? I don't get that. The reason why I say I don't get it is because I 100% get it. See, what we believe, because we come out saying that we awaken, we're more dumber than we were when we were asleep. You see what I'm saying? Than what we are awakened, because we came out real ignorant with this here hardcore, we free, and this did, they did. They never took a hold of Deuteronomy 28. And that's what the Father want me to tell y'all. They never took a hold of Deuteronomy 28. That means they never respect nor honor the curse itself. None of them did. They spoke it to graft you, to get you to come to their page. But they never stood firm to see the end game, because they didn't want you to know what the end game of their nonsense was. So to me, they led you all in darkness, even to today. Because the Hebrew Israelites, not the Hebrew, the Israelites and the tribe of Judah never brought truth to you all. They still today keep you all in darkness because they never brought you to the end game of Deuteronomy 28. See, Deuteronomy have to have an end, y'all. Where is the end? They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to preach it. They don't want to teach it. They want you only to have 3 parts. Oppress, yoke around your neck, and the ships. That's all they want you to know, those 3 names. After that, they don't want to give you what Yah is saying about the end game of it. So to me, that led me to realize in my study in the last 3 years, Father, they are escaping the end. They are escaping your curse. So what they did is they denounced or disowned the curse and went on to teach you all everything that the heathens and Gentiles done, and that made them escape what they done, who they are, and who they are today. Still stiff-necked, still rebellion, still disobedient, whoremongers, and all these things that Yah called them out to be. So if they tell you it's the heathens and the Gentiles, then that gets your mind off of really who they are as a nation. Okay? And it'll focus on the ones that Yah set to bring upon the curse on you. You see what I'm saying? Like the young lady was talking the other day, she said there was a lie about he was nailed to the cross, because the word was prophesied in the old, not one bone was broken. How could they nail his hands, which are bones, into the cross? It would have broke the bones. But the prophecy said there was no bone broken in the Messiah. Okay, now watch this here. So therefore, what she said is, we as Hebrew Israelites, we are lying because he hung from a tree. You see what I'm saying? He hung from a tree. And then she went on giving you the history and showing you how we as Negroes been hung from the tree. Okay? And then they showed you how she would begin to read about how he was beaten. And as you hear when it says whip with the lash and how it was saying it, so that shows that he had a whip. He was beaten with a whip. Okay? Because it tells you how it went into his skin and it pierced him. It was something of a nature like a whip. What were we done? We were beat with a whip in our slavery. So if you really go in and really be up under the Holy Spirit and you hear him telling you all these things, then you'll come back into the truth and you'll say, them Hebrew Israelites, not the Hebrew, the Israelites in the tribe of Judah been lying even up until today. They just lied. And they won a lot of people over. But guess what they're doing now? Do y'all know? Who in the live chat know what they're doing now? They decide to go into science. Now they're giving science the praise, the glory, and the honor. So now they telling the Most High Yah, we're done with being the Hebrew Israelites. Now we're going to dig deeper in the science, which is sorcery and witchcraft. And they in it deep, y'all. Them Hebrew, I wouldn't have never thought they would go that deep. But I knew they was going to go out the way, because that's how the tribe of Judah had always been. They never stick fast with Yah. They always wanted an idol God. They always wanted to believe what they can see and believe, and what they can teach you based on what they can see and believe. They didn't never want to be up on them under the Most High Yah at all. So this is why it's easier for them to go on any side, because they are just that vulnerable, and they are people who always, and it didn't start while we was here 400 years. It started back in Genesis. This is Genesis. This is a people who always been messed up from the floor up. That's why I say unto you all don't really read. You all don't, you can tell that a lot of you all don't have the Ruach, because the Ruach can tell you, first and foremost, you salute my curse. Do you honor what I did and the reason why I did it? But see, you want to run around here and judge the heathens and the Gentiles. So how are you going to judge the heathens and the Gentiles without stepping into Yah about what he did with the Gentiles and heathen by bringing you over here under their mighty hand? See, he got the answer for it for you so you can be set free. But we want to stand under what the flesh of men in the Hebrew and the tribe of Judah are saying. Instead of being set free from the inside out, we want to hear what they say, and we want to go by them. But you know what? I am kind of glad, though. I am kind of glad they did go on the end of the science. I am kind of glad, because they weren't doing you no good. They just showing you who they are. They the seed of the Satan. Because all of them, the educated ones, they're going strictly to science. And that the Muhammad, the Islam, and all of their men are going into the science. They all, the Hebrew Israelites men who's overlearned, they gone into the science, baby. They gone into space and all this science, all this sorcery and science and witchcraft. They went on that way. All you have to do is just keep on following. Keep following these people. You'll see where our Hebrew Israelite Negro men, not our Hebrew Israelite, but our tribe of Judah has wandered. But that's good, though, because that shows you that they never were about the Father in the heaven. They never were. If that was that easy to get out of order of the Father, if you thought you were in order, that shows they never was. And now they all in the science. They think the science can best tell the story about the Most High Yah and all the world. See, they want to go a little higher than what they know. See, what they know about the Hebrew Israelites, the Israelites in the house of Judah, what they know about that, they're not content. They want the power that the evil gives them to know about the science. Because what did Satan do? He thought he was going to be uplifted above Yah. And that's what they fear. The more we go above in space, we're going to be above the people on the earth understanding. And that way we can build up a belief and tell them what's going on in the space and in the science and in the heavens, to where we can come down and teach them what we've learned up. And then they'll see us as mighty men, learned men. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. A lot of them, yeah. A whole lot of them. And I see them and I say, even is Farrakhan people, that's what they're doing. They turn into science. I was like, wow. And I just said to myself, I said, Father, look how many people followed them. Look how many people followed them people. Wow, it's just so many followed these men. And now, because let me tell you why. When I moved here from Atlanta, Georgia, here to Missouri, there was a group of Hebrew Israelite men learned. Malachi, oh man, he was all live. But when I got here, I was like, wait a minute, Malachi seemed like he breaking out. Why is he getting giving Haki all the let me see, Haki? Why is he giving him all the leeway? And see, it was Malachi, Haki, they were the young ones, and then they had like 8 old heads. All of them was really good, but I couldn't understand why did Haki always wanted to be power, always wanted to be the power. He wants when he teaching, he don't want you to move. Like if you do like this, it's like, oh, he just couldn't stand for you to do anything but listen to him. And he has this black mark right here. Now it's covering almost his whole face. I used to get on there and tell him, man, you ain't no man of Yah. And you know what? Malachi was good, y'all. He was humble. He was smart. He knew the word. He knew the Hebrew. He just knew it in a way that I thought was awesome. But the more I sit and watch him and let him see, let Haki get the most, I said, okay. Then the old head starting to let Melly and Haki get the most, and all of a sudden they broke up. The old heads went their way and let Melly and Haki go their way. And then guess what? After Haki had got Melly out there by himself, he let him hang. And Melly decided to go into a different study. And his study was that we are not supposed to eat any flesh. We are not supposed to do a lot of things that was shocking me that he's teaching. And I was like saying, do people really think that the Father is caught up in the reason why he tell you not to eat certain things? Because he didn't create it for us to eat. You see what I'm saying? So if he didn't create it for us to eat, he knows it'll go up against the flesh body we have. But he ain't going out like that because he knows he's caught up in your spirit, not in your flesh. Y'all ain't going to let you go out like that. You know, meaning that he ain't going to let you put that much emphasis on controlling this on your outer man. And then your inner man don't have no spirit and truth that has to deal with y'all. Y'all work from the inside, not from your flesh. He worked from your spirit in. You see, and this is what these men don't know. They don't know that Father don't have no contact with your flesh. He has contact with your spirit, and he will tame that nasty flesh at a blink of an eye from the spiritual realm. But outside the flesh, he ain't got time to play with that. He said, you can't worship me even with that. So you can go down and pray, you can fast, you can do whatever you want in your flesh. But until you meet me in the spirit, none of that means anything. So a lot of what the Israelites and the tribe of Judah does is focus on your outer man to keep you from getting the full meal deal in your inner man, which is spirit and truth. So I sit back and I look at it. Melly and Haki was booming. Then they start to fall because they start to say it. Haki was telling Melly all his science. Haki went and got his degree and with all that space and all of that. Next thing I know, he dropped Melly. Melly was online by himself. He was online by himself. And Melly seemed like he went so far out in the deep. Melly can't even find his way home now. He's a total different person and functioning into that science and everything. Now, Haki is traveling all over the place, all over the world, speaking about health and food, all the things that got to do with your body, your flesh. He ain't giving your spirit not a chance. He ain't even speaking to your spirit and making money because he wanted to always be like Dr. Sebi. He went to school for that too. He was selling all the time. I heal people. He was starting to say, I heal. I got the medicine to heal you. I got the word that'll heal you. Everything was in his power to where now he think he's a God. He think he's a God for real. He ain't got no words for you for your spirit. He only going to work on your flesh because he think he's Dr. Sadie. And he's traveling all over the place. He's a dark-skinned man that has dreads. He got several wives, you see, and he speaks. And if any man know, if you cut into what he say, you're going to know he's a man that's got a built-in fire within himself. He loves snakes. Anybody that falls in love with snakes, you better watch yourself. Anybody. So if you out there, you got a snake, you better understand. You just don't have a snake on the outside. You got a snake in you on the inside. Praise the mighty Yah. So I'm telling you, anybody that fall into a serpent, your body should not be a lover of a serpent, period, and have it. But how he do? That's why I say I know who he is. And I stayed on that man. I know who you are. You are not a man of Yah. I know who you are. Melly, get away from Haki. Said it all the time. Then all of a sudden he dropped hot. Melly. Melly ended up being out there by himself. Now nobody listen to Melly. Nobody. He's so far out in the deep oh man, these men are out there. But I thank the Most High for allowing them to be out in the deep. Because it's the fathers. He said, y'all went out and y'all swim y'all butt out there. Didn't look to dry land where I'm at. But you swimmed out there because you wanted to do what Satan do. He wanted to take even my throne. He wanted to rule. That's what's wrong with y'all. That's what's wrong with y'all. They want to rule. They want to be kings. They want to be leaders. They want to be rulers. Baby, I would drop all that mess at a blink of an eye just to serve the Most High Yah, the true king, the true leader, the true creator. I wouldn't even want to be something that y'all don't want for me, but that I yearn it in my flesh to be this. That's what we just got to talking about, the shepherd. To the point where they ain't thinking about no flocks, nor no sheep. They feeding themselves. And I try to tell y'all, that's what YouTube is. Giving people the opportunity to serve Satan. Oh, they say throw in a few words about God, about Yah, about Ahia, but it means nothing. All you have to do is keep focus on what they say. And you'll say, well, wait a minute. How is it you talk more about the world and the worldly matters? These things are not new to Yah. And they should not be new to us. We should be in Revelation, closing Revelation out right now. Because let me tell you something. When I pulled up in Ezekiel chapter 1 and chapter 10, and I'm hearing about the wheel in the middle of a wheel, and these beasts with these different heads, got a head like a man, and a head like an eagle, and a head like this, and a head like that, and it was four. And every time they never turned, they always kept straight. All this stuff, I'm like, wait a minute now. Sound like we in Revelation somewhere, and you are. He just letting you know. And I'm like saying, where are those beasts? Where are they coming from? Because we're thinking that the world has the power. And we took it from Yah and given it to the heathens and Gentiles and say they have the power. So whatever the world is doing, we thinking they're doing it. But Yah is saying, I'm the one. Because when he said a wheel in the middle of a wheel spinning, I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like a spaceship. So even when he do come, y'all better stand down. Stop trying to think that he's coming this way, the way a lot of loudmouth women are saying, and men, but women more so telling y'all how he's coming. Hear what he said in your inner man, so you can come out and tell us from your spirit what is y'all saying, not from what you hear these people saying. Because I hate when they come to my page, so-and-so said, well, you need to go over there and park. See if she got a parking spot for you, because that's where you need to be. Don't come on this page telling me what so-and-so said. So-and-so is feeding her family with your choice to like and subscribe her and hear her. She ain't got time to feed you nothing spirit and truth. So don't come feeding me her food from her worldly mindset. Why would I want to eat her food because you ate it? Stay over there where she at. Eat off of her plate. And don't bring her plate, her food to my page. So I, Sister Deborah, say, well, far out there. And you know what? And it hurts because you can't will them in. You can actually see them out, but it ain't nothing you can do. You know, you be wanting. You can pray and say, Father, if your will, if it be thy will. And I think it's very important that we say that, Father, if it be thy will, you know. How do you know if you have the fire burning within you? You never, it's a feeling. And it's not a pain feeling. It's a feeling in you that feels like a ball of fire. and it rolls in you. But it's not like a pain, but it's a feeling that's unlike a feeling, okay? And you know that it's there. I remember when I was going to the church and I would shout and I couldn't stop because it felt like a ball of fire in me just burning and I'm just moving. That's why I cannot go up against a lot of things people talk about, because the Father say, Deborah, what about your testimony? Pull up your testimony. See, I got testimonies all around me that can't afford to take on what these teachers are teaching people, because wait a minute, what am I going to do about the testimony that I experienced myself? Same thing with you. If you experience something, you can't take your experience and try to get somebody else to feel that thing when your experience is not their experience. Your testimony is not their testimony. Sometimes they do have a testimony like unto yours, and it's okay. But me going to the Christian churches, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all something. The Pentecostal church or the Baptist church, I would say to you all, the reason why Sister Deborah don't bother them is because my calling is to the house of Israel, okay, in the tribe of Judah. My purpose is to really lean toward them, okay, and bring a right now word to them and a judgment from the Most High to them. But when I say Christians and when I say Baptist church and Pentecostal church, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Outside of the Hebrew, not the Hebrew Israelite cult and movement and the tribe of Judah and the house of Israel, let me tell you something. I ain't never in my life felt the spirit like I felt when I was sitting in the house of Yah, in places that represent Christian settings. So I can't sit and tell you the lie that it's this. Those people who always tell you the Christian this, the Christian, those the same people who have not embraced my father's curse, refused my father's curse, okay? They refuse any spirit and truth. They refuse the light. They complain about the Christian because they refuse to do their study, to understand. The Christians back in Paul's time and after Paul was gone were people who truly believe in the Messiah. And they called themselves Christians. And they died like the apostles did. They suffered. They were tormented in a way that you ain't never been tormented as a slave here in this country. Even those who hung on the tree and it was not tormented like those that were called the Christians back in that day. But mine is my testimony alone speak for. I don't go over in that area, bother in that area, because when you come to know the Father, you can't line him up with where those, just like he just got to tell you, those shepherds who wasn't really feeding the flock, spirit and truth. You see, you can't believe them. And that's what a lot of people came out of the Christian, and they made Christians so bad because they were in the Christian church. And now the Hebrews told them, not the Hebrews, the Israel, the how would I call them? The Israelites, the tribe of Judah told them that they are the people, and they just went chaotic. Not thinking, now I came out of this, a lot of it is crooked and wicked. And because you don't know what make them crooked and wicked, you got to go back to the biblical days when the Roman Catholics were killing them because they refused to disown the Messiah. Tell me how many of y'all life been threatened because you believe in the Messiah. So you can't step in their room and tell them who they are. When they died, they were set on fire upside down. Their arms and hands were cut off while they were on fire. They were stuck with pitchforks. See, y'all don't know nothing about that, because the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah, they are not after to tell you any truth. Because that's what he was saying in Ezekiel 4. They about feeding themselves. They ain't about feeding you spirit and truth. And the truth of the matter is, the Catholics was the crutch for the Roman Catholic to hide. The Roman Catholic took over the Christians and used them for a crutch to hide them and the things that they have done and the things that they're doing today. Those elites, they're using the Christians. So where everybody get mad, they get mad at the Christians. And then the Roman Catholic get away with it. The fake Jews get away with it. The elites that's with them get away with it. And it be who fault? The Catholics. You see, the Christians, not the Catholics. It be the Christians' fault. Wait a minute. You mean the Catholic hid under the Christians? Yes. They got them all in control so that they can hide under them. Now, those who come to the knowledge, they came to the knowledge and got from underneath the Catholics. But the majority of them, they are under the power of the Roman Catholics, the fake Jews, and the fake Jews, and the elites. That's who the Christians are up under today. But there are some Christians believing the same thing you believe in. See, I'm going to tell y'all something. If any one of y'all can show me the scriptures where it says that the heathens and the Gentiles has to accept you as the children or as the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. You ain't going to find one verse saying that they have to. Because it's not in there. How is he going to force them to recognize you and you don't even recognize yourself? It don't make sense. So what the Hebrew Israelites are doing, they down the Christians because when they found out who they were, they feel that the Christians should recognize who they are. It's no scriptures in the Bible that tells you they should or they're going to be. Why? Because they are branded for the Father's name's sake under the word belief and faith. That's how they were grafted in. They're not grafted in because of your ugly tail, understanding your history, understanding how stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient. How is it that y'all expect them to see y'all the way y'all cutting up on the earth today? Stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient, killing one another. Men hating their women, women hating their men, and the men killing their women and their children and putting it on nationwide television so everybody can see. The men are killing their brothers, but then you want the Gentiles and the heathens to see you to be something, to see you to be the children of Yah. You see how disgrace that they would put Yah in a position, at least they think they are, where we this and we that, we the children, we the this. But have you realized who you are? And why you fail to realize why you over here if you all that? See, they don't get it. And this is why he said they're gonna be gone. That's the end game of Deuteronomy 28, something they refuse to study, something they refuse to get up under. It's Deuteronomy 28, because it tells them what happened to them. They don't want that. And they don't want the other house of Israel, nor the tribe of Judah to read it. They don't want you to go over that area. Because I sit back and I say, surely, Father, I've been telling everybody this for about 2.5 years. Why ain't nobody covered? He said, they ain't going to cover that, Deborah. Because that's my curse to the beginning to the end. They ain't going to cover it. That's how crooked Judah is. They only going to cover what makes you turn. They ain't going to give you spirit and truth. They ain't going to give you the light. They ain't even show you the way to the narrow gate because they don't want you to find it. They want you to find their way. And their way is the worstest way. So when I say about the Christians and the Christian, you have to find out in your own, because it's right here in here, baby. It's in here whether you like it or not. Revelation talk about more than just Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and the tribe of Judah, the 12 tribes. What y'all don't understand, the 12 tribes were those that he has caused to be born of the Spirit. They are in the 12 tribes. but they just not the 12 tribes. It's other nations, y'all. You see, that are born of the Spirit. You see, that was this here movement, this Hebrew Israelite movement and this Hebrew Israelite cult that made us look at it as it all about us. It never been all about us, because if you read from Genesis to Revelation, he said, I did everything for me and for my name's sake. We made it about us. And then most of the men bagged out and went somewhere else, because they knew, they realized that we told them a lot of lies, and now we switched over. We want to go a little higher than where Yah is at. We want to go into the science. So it's messed up from the floor, but you got to keep on standing in the bosom of Yah and trust in him and him only. And when you trust him, he'll put people in your way so where you can kind of minister to them and they minister to you, and you all can walk on until the Most High come and take us out of here, which I don't think is going to be very long at all. So Sister Deborah, I hope each and every last one of you all got something out of this. And I hope that it was food for your spirit. Okay, because you don't need the food for your flesh. Okay, it does nothing for you in the spirit realm. And I know I said a whole lot, but believe me, no, don't believe me, but trust the greater one that's in you than he that's in the world. Okay, because that's what Ezekiel 34 is. You trust the world and not he that is in you, that's greater than he that is in the world. We need to stop trusting the world and trust in the one that's greater than the world. So Sister Deborah says, praise the Most High Yah. Seek him while he can be found, because we in the midnight hour. It's time to get up and get out. Shalom and shalom.